Hey fangirls, it's Pottery Parodies here, and recently we got to interview George Watsky.
We interviewed him on his Manchester tour day in the All You Can Do tour, and I hope you enjoy.
This is just a short interview with George Watsky.
I'm Grace.
And I'm Tallulah, and the first question is, how is this world tour going so far?
It's going well. This is the All You Can Do tour, and this is show 10, I believe. We're just playing Europe first. So we played Copenhagen, we did a couple shows on the continent, we did Paris, and then we did London. We played Birmingham last night, and everything's been going really well. Only hang up is that our bags got lost on our way into the country, so we had to deal without having our instruments and our luggage, our clothes for the first week of the shows. But we got our bags back in Paris, and it was, exciting. We made do with the stuff that we had at first, and the crowds have been great everywhere. People have been really supportive, and we're having a ton of fun.
Okay,
yeah.
So what do you do to get inspiration?
Well, I have a lot of different things I do. One of my favorite things to do is go to other people's shows and read. I think that a lot of times as an artist you get really wrapped up in your own head and thinking that you have to be a bubble and you have to just hold yourself up in your room and just bang your head against the wall until you come up with something good. But I think that sometimes the best way to really get out of your box and become more creative and move in a new direction is to see other people's stuff. Most writers get into it, most performers, most artists, because we're inspired by someone else, and I think that if we forget to take inspiration in, then our work can become stagnant. So I'm really in favor of always trying to go to other people's shows, read books, watch videos, listen to albums, and that's, I think, the best way to get inspired.
So, which music video that you've done was most fun to film?
That's hard to say. I've done a lot that I've really liked the production process of. One of them that is particularly near and dear to my heart, even though it never became really popular, was the fireworks video from Cover Castles, which I wasn't even in. I directed it, but I wasn't in the video at all, and it was just ice melting and then exploding in slow motion. And it was like a sculpture project, pretty much. It was just working with ice, figuring out how we could mold it into these different images we wanted, and embed like explosives inside it. We got a slow motion camera and watched it explode, and it was like a science project. I had a lot of fun doing that one.
Yeah, that's very cool. So what was your first gig like?
First show ever. I'm trying to remember what my first show ever was. It was probably like a school play or something. But in terms of my first music gig, I did 4 years of spoken word poetry before I was able to play as a headlining musician. So I had a whole career before this concert playing started. And the first time that I played a music show with me actually like on the marquee and playing my own fans was Arizona in 2012. And I was really nervous because I'd never done a headlining show with a band before, and I just remember before we drove to Arizona the night before, there was a big party at my house, but I was so nervous I couldn't even really hang out, and I was like throwing up in the bathroom. I didn't know if people would like it or show up to the show, and I really wanted it to succeed, and when it did, it was really a relief to me. So now I don't feel quite the same amount of butterflies, but I still get a little nervous before the show because I want it to go well. But that was my first music show, Tempe, Arizona, 2012.
After the stage dive fiasco at the Warped Tour last year, how did the sudden and mostly negative attention affect you, and how did you deal with it?
Well, it was very uncomfortable. I felt terrible about it, and it still affects me. I have tried to just address it in my music and not run away from it. Answer questions like the ones you're asking me right now and not just like sweep it under the rugs. My album, All You Can Do, addresses it very explicitly on like a few of the songs. The title track, All You Can Do, the whole second half of the song is about it. My song, Ink Don't Bleed, is about it. The last song on the album, Cannonball, is about it. For people who want a really in-depth like look into my thought process behind it, you can check those songs out for free on YouTube. I mean, the answer is I felt terrible about it. I made a bad decision that I can't get back, and that's it. I don't really have anything else to say for myself except that I feel terrible and I wish I could have that decision back, but I can't, so I'm trying to make the best I can out of that situation.
So what are the best lyrics you've ever written?
Best lyrics I've ever written? It's hard to say. Most of the other people will be the judge of that, but I have a couple favorites. I'm proud of the song Wounded Healer that I wrote, even though it's a really simple one, because I thought that it was an honest song about dealing with a tragedy in my family, and it it's something that I keep coming back to and wanting to play over and over again at shows because it resonated with me. I'm proud of a line at the end of a song of my self-titled album, All You Can Do, or not All You Can Do, Everything Turns Gold. The last line of my verse in that song is, I ate dirt as a baby, I did it for the flavor, in a couple of years I'll let the dirt return the favor. And I always like that line about like the circular nature of life.
So there are a lot of rappers who've gone into acting, and you obviously have acting experience. Is this an area you wish to pursue?
I'd like to do acting again at some point. I studied acting in school. It's hard to say. I want to be a writer ultimately. I would rather create work and be the person, the creative voice behind it, than be interpreting somebody else's project. So I would say most likely I could see myself going into more screenwriting and novel writing, stuff like that, essays. But yeah, I would, if an opportunity presents itself to do an acting project, I would love to do it again.
When you have to censor a song or it's censored for you for like radio or TV, do you think it like ruins the artistic integrity, or is it kind of something you have to do and it doesn't really affect the lyrics themselves?
One of the reasons that I changed my approach to censoring material on this album, so on Carver Castles we did a lot of lyric replacements where I would go in and I would try and come up with whole different phrases, different words, so that there weren't a bunch of gaps and pauses that people would hear when the swearing was happening. And on this one we just did drops so that people could hear that they weren't hearing the way that it was actually meant to be presented, and that it was still in a format that was technically not explicit, so that if a parent wants to play it for their kids, they could sort of do so with a clear conscience. So I think it's good to put it out, and one of the main reasons I do the clean albums, my mom's an elementary school librarian and she wants to be able to play my material for her class of elementary school kids. And I figure if a parent wants to play their stuff with their kids around, my stuff with their kids around, and I think that a lot of the things in my music that's more disturbing and difficult to present to children are like reflections on mortality, dying, getting older, sex. Those are complicated conversations that you could technically say in a clean way without swearing. But those are conversations that are harder to have with your kid than like, what does the F word mean, So to me, my material's not written for 8 or 9-year-olds. If a parent chooses to present it to their kids, that's their decision as a parent, and they can give them the clean album and they can explain what's missing, or they can play it for them and not explain it. That's their parental decision. The 2 albums exist. Clearly the explicit one is the way that I originally intended the lyrics, but I don't feel like it's a desecration of the art to have a second version of it.
Well, we've got a kind of a game now, and we've got some props for it. So basically we've got a picture of you morphed with someone that you've collaborated with, and you have to tell us, figure out who they are, and then tell us the best memory of collaborating with them.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the first one.
I think that's Shanaka Hodge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's correct.
Best memory of collaborating with her? It's hard to say. I've done a lot of stuff with her. I know her from the poetry slam scene in San Francisco. I've known her for probably 10 years. Her brother is my drummer, Trudy Hodge. She'd see her all the time, so that was from the Kill a Hipster video probably, but I've done a lot of stuff with Shanaka and had a lot of good memories with her. That is Dumbfounded. This is strange. Dumbfounded was on our he was on our Carver Castles tour, played that whole tour with us, and that's my fondest memory of him, is playing that whole tour with them. Yeah, this one, I can't actually tell what this one is off the bat.
It's a bit strange. Would you like a clue?
Sure, I'll take a clue.
And the Carver Castles tour, who is that?
Is that Dylan?
Yeah.
I don't see so much of Dylan in that one.
No, it's pretty strange.
Yeah, Dylan's the man. I don't know. That looks a lot like Wax, so I can tell off of that. That's it.
What's your favorite memory with Dylan?
With Dylan? I did a musical with him after we graduated high school. We were probably 18 years old, and I played drums. We both grew up together in San Francisco, and he was singing it. It was a James Taylor musical retrospective, and Darren Criss from Glee was in that show too. And a lot of people who've gone to do really great things were in that show back when we were in high school, so it was pretty cool. Yeah, Wax. I don't know, best memory with Wax. I just did the Warped Tour with him all summer, which was awesome.
Yeah.
That looks like Kate Nash. It was very disturbing Kate Nash. Yeah, my only real collaboration with her was the Hey Asshole video, so I would have to say that's my best memory of collaborating with her, but it's great to see her around, friends with her sisters and people in the band, so yeah.
Right, we have a quick fire now, but it's with a twist. So when you were in like elementary school, did you ever do something called the 5 W's?
No, I've never heard that. Oh, who, what, where, when, and why?
Yeah, that's correct. So we have some quick fire.
So, for the first question, it's what ski do you think is your biggest achievement?
So wait, this is who, what, when, why, where, and why of my biggest achievement?
No, just what, and then we've got different questions.
Oh, okay. What is my biggest achievement? That's hard to say. I'll pick a random one. I won the Asian American Star Search at San Francisco State University in San Francisco when I was 19 years old. You know, I'm not Asian.
Okay. Who ski would you like to collaborate with?
I'd love to do, my fans keep asking for me to do a song with Bo Burnham. That'd be cool one to do. I know he's down, we just have to find the right song.
Why ski did you start writing poetry?
I love spoken word poetry because it's a combination of performance art and writing. It's a rare piece of art. I guess music is another one of them, but where you really have to be talented as a performer, a theatrical performer, and as a writer. It's really like a solo performance kind of thing, and I love that you just have to bring so much of yourself to it.
When ski were you happiest?
When was I happiest? I don't know, maybe when I was 8 years old, before the cruel, crushing weight of the world descended on me. Yeah, I go up and down all the time. I have lots of really happy memories. You know, life is a roller coaster. I'm not a person who gets too high or too low all the time. I don't descend into depressions for long periods of time because I tend to be able to find silver linings to things and get happy again. So, I don't know, I was really happy on the Carver Castles tour, and I feel very grateful to be able to be pursuing my art. I have great nights all the time on tour where I'm just really thrilled to be able to be doing this. So, I don't really have one specific moment that I was happiest, but I get them every week.
Where ski would you like to perform in the future?
I want to go to Norway. I want to go to Iceland. I want to perform in South America. And I want to see the world, so I'm really excited to be playing India on the end of this tour. That was just booked kind of as a, you know, see if we can go out there and play a few shows. Why not? I don't think I have a huge following there, but it was fun to do. I want to explore, and so yeah, Scandinavia, Iceland, those are on my list. Portugal, those are all places I'm hoping to add to the next tour we do.
So, this is not part of the quick fire, but what do you think your main demographic of listeners is?
I think unlike a lot of acts, I don't really have one demographic of listener. If you look at my audiences, it's pretty mixed in terms of age. I think it skews a little more male than female, but there are a lot of women who come to the shows too. You know, it's not really one type of person. I think that's why sometimes it's tough to pigeonhole me in one way, because there's people who are like from fandom communities, and then there's people who are like the jocks at their school, and it's just like a total mix of different people, poetry fans and kids and their parents who like my poetry, so I can't really pin it down. Yeah.
And the final question is, a mysterious man descends from the sky. He grants you the ability to see into the future for just a few moments. What is the future of Watsky?
I hope that I'm just doing this still. I don't know if I'll be rapping, but I hope I'm doing art for the rest of my life. I hope I'm happy. Maybe I'll fall in love. It doesn't really matter to me if I'm rich or not, as long as I'm supporting myself and my parents are comfortable. Hopefully they're alive for a lot longer and I'm still doing what I love with people that I care about.
Thank you. Just to end the interview, we have a little gift here.
Oh,
called,
nice.
Pick and I'm soothing. And basically it's a
Three different ones.
So this is, do you want me to pick one right now? Just a random one?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go with Rich Bruv Pie.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, I like it. Rich Bruv Pie. I wanted it to be a little English, so there you go. It's official. Rich Bruv
The
Pie.
next album by Rich Burke.
Sounds good. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Lovely gift. I appreciate it. Thank you for talking to
Thank
me.
you so
Have a
much.
great day.
Yeah,
We're looking at your
Thank you, guys.
tonight as well.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Cool.
we're looking forward to it.
All right.
Okay, so we hope you like that. Thanks to George Watsky.
And Nils Montan, his tour manager, for sorting everything out. Over here, you can buy tickets to his remaining tour dates.
And over here you can see some footage that we filmed at the tour. Fangirls out!